Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. God's done some really cool stuff over the past year, and we want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us in what God has done. Thank you for partnering us, and we want to share with you some of the great things that God has done this year. This year we've seen God bring more staff to camp than we've ever had. We had the opportunity to see 20 kids come to know Christ this summer. God is using you guys in a mighty way to provide a camp for kids that is safe, where they can come and be renewed and be refreshed. They can be refocused, where they can encounter God in a mighty way, where they can make memories that last a lifetime, where they can make friendships that will encourage them. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for partnering with us and making that a reality. And we also want to say thank you for being a part of bringing new skills to camp. This summer or this fall we got to do things like chainsawing, and we got to do big equipment where we got to teach kids to drive a skid steer and drive a backhoe and drive a bulldozer, where we got to teach them how to properly take down a tree and how to be safe in that. We're in the privilege of teaching them how to change oil and do electrical work and do plumbing, and you're a big part of that. So thank you for partnering on this. Thank you for making the dream of camp a reality. So as 2023 approaches, we're really excited to see what God has in store. And two of those exciting things are, one is the building that you see behind me. That is the future home of our new skills building. So what we're going to do is enclose this building, and it will become our baking skill and our sewing skill. And so this way we'll be able to teach kids how to bake things in order to give to people and to be on missions, to be missional in that, and then to sew and to be able to give those to people and to have a missional attitude about that. And so God has done an amazing thing this year, that He has already provided the money for the building. So the exciting thing is that hopefully by the summer of 23, this building behind us will be the new home of our skills building. And the skills are something that we're really excited about. We really feel that God is leading us in the direction to teach those practical skills. Baking, sewing, electrical, plumbing, all of those things. So these kids can learn to be practically missional in everyday life. They can take these skills, go home, do these things, and use these skills to point people to Jesus. And this is where you come in. In 2023, as we talked about earlier, the need for volunteers. We need you to volunteer to teach these skills. We need you to come alongside of us and partner with us, teach kids these skills so they can be missional with as they leave camp. And so please pray about joining us in that. And also the exciting part behind us is the trailer. One of the biggest things that we do at camp that we absolutely love is the team building. And what team building does is it brings together the kids. It helps them to learn to communicate. It helps them to learn to problem solve. It helps them to think creatively and to think outside the box. It develops leadership. It develops these kids into ways of thinking that are different, and it helps them to become leaders so they may go home and lead other people to Christ. And again, what this trailer is going to do is hopefully expand that from camp, that we can take team building on the road. So in essence, that we can come to you with team building, if we can go to other churches with team building, and that we can go to businesses with team building, and we can use those games and use those skills in order to point people to Jesus. And so we're really excited of what God has in store for us in 23 with our skills and with our team building. But again, we need you. We need you to help get the word out about the team building, that we can come to people in your churches, and we can help grow your church and help unify your church and help with the communication in those aspects. So if you would love for us to come to do that, please let us know, and please tell other people about that. As 2023 comes in, we're excited to see what God has in store. And so the theme for the next year is the great adventure. And being a Christian is part of going on a great adventure, is seeing what God has in store. And so as we begin the new year, we're going to break the great adventure down into three parts. The spring is going to be all about preparing for the great adventure that God has for us. The summer is going to be all about, as God prepares us for that adventure, then fulfilling that adventure and being obedient to whatever God calls us to do, taking those steps of faith and living that great adventure that God has planned out for us. And then come the fall, we're going to talk about is we're going to continue that and talk about what God has done and share that with other people to point them to Jesus. So we pray that you will join us as we start our own adventure in 2023, and we're excited to see what God has in store for us, what God has in store for the kids, what God has in store for camp, and the great adventure that He's going to send us on. So join us in the great adventure, and let's see what God does.